All right, folks, good afternoon. Thank you for being here. I am Pepper, and this is our regularly scheduled Wednesday afternoon Bible study for traders. Uh, we do this every single week, and we are going through the book Trading with Joy that I wrote, and that is going to be our template. By the way, before I go any further, I've got an exciting bit of news here. We have a special giveaway that we are running for the. Don't get rid of my face. We have a special giveaway that we are running for the month of October. We've got two signed copies of my book that two people will win a package here of several books. Some of my favorite trading books, sort of the ultimate trio, because they sort of cover the basics, not basics of trading, but the basics of different types of traders, as well as my book and a one-on-one session with me and free strategy if you like that. Two people are going to win that. All you have to do is go to the website www.godlytrading.com/giveaway. Let's see if we can put that up on the screen. Give me 1 second and pull that down and click through there. And does that work? Yes, so there we go. So if you go to that website, I'm also going to have a link down in the description. Go to that website right there, sign up for our October giveaway, and it'll have instructions there on what to do. It's absolutely free. There's no money involved. Just sign up for it. This is something that we do as a way of thanking you, way of giving back. By the way, if you're just joining us, let me know how the audio is. Let me know in the chat. Drop some comments. If you are watching this on a replay, please put down in the comments replay that you're actually watching it on the replay. Let us know. We're trying to track who watches it live, who watches it on the replay. If for no other reason, then that lets me know whether to say good afternoon or good morning or not. But yeah, give us some comments in the if you're watching this on replay. Let us know. And also, if there's any issues with the audio, I am, like I said last week, I am in between steps right now on microphones, and this one is an intermediate step. Hopefully, it is better. I had some comments in the past that the microphone, when I got a little animated, that the microphone could try to peg out. You would think I would do better than that. I run the soundboard for our church's live stream. You'd think I'd be better at that. But anyhow, thank you for being here. Let's start our week, as we always do, reviewing why are we doing this in the first place? Why are we here on a Wednesday afternoon, if you are in the Central Time Zone? Why are we traders? What is it we are doing here? The command that this one just sort of hit me. This is one of those that I know I have read before. I know I've read before because I've read a few years ago. I started, hey, I'm just going to start in Genesis and end in Revelation. And when I get to the end, I'm going to start over again. I've done that at least twice, if not three times. So I know I've read it at least twice, if not three times. But it just sort of jumped out at me here recently. I think Myron Golden probably mentioned it. You know, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Am I doing that? Are we, as fathers and heads of households, and I say as fathers, this is not to exclude women in any way, basically as heads of households, whatever that means to you. You could be a household of one, and at some point in the future, you're hoping to have a spouse and children, and this is still applicable. But one of our responsibilities is to not just provide their daily needs, but try to set them up. I mean, my goodness, I don't want my children who are in their early 20s, I would love for them to not struggle the way I did and my wife and I did when we were in our early 20s. I would love to be able to create, and this is what I'm doing now with my trading, in the process of creating that, call it generational wealth. And by that I mean, you know, money that you can give to the next generation to set them up so that they don't have to struggle. I have this thought, oh well, everyone needs to pay their dues. Do they really? Should everyone get saddled with student loan debt? I don't want to be negative. Is this making sense, guys? The whole point of this is this used to be the American dream, that we worked hard so that our children could have a better life, and this is part of it. So a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. I am a firm believer that, and I wouldn't be doing this otherwise, that trading is the best way to do this. And we are going to investigate various avenues as we go through this. We mentioned it last week. We're not seeking to create professional traders as much as professional family men. And that starts off with trading. And that starts off with trading your own money. And if you don't have your own money, we're going to have videos and live streams. By the way, part of the giveaway, again, where's it at? Right here. godlytrading.com/giveaway is a link to the new Facebook group. And we're going to have special, non-YouTube, we're going to have special Facebook live sessions there on a weekly basis where we're going to be talking about a little bit more in depth, a little bit more one-on-one. But, and I forget where I was going with that. But we are here to, for those of you who don't have capital for a large trading account right now, we've got resources, we've got some videos, and we've got some things I can show you on, step 1 is trade your own money. Step 2 is trade someone else's money or use someone else's money, or whether you're trading it or, later on we'll get into real estate and how you use other people's money there. But anyhow, the whole purpose of this is to take care of our families. It's on us, right? It's our responsibility, right? I know in this modern era, everyone's out for them, supposed to take care of themselves. Guys, it is our responsibility to take care of our families. I firmly believe that. I wouldn't be here otherwise. If you are just joining us, drop me a note in the chat. Make sure that the audio is sounding good. So we have been going through these last 1, 2, 3, 4, this is week 8, I believe, these last 8 weeks, the fruit of the Spirit from Galatians. We'll read it here, but the fruit of the Spirit. And let's take one quick second. What does that mean? Fruit, the outward manifestation of what's going on inside of you. That's what fruit is. A tomato's a fruit, regardless of what Congress says. But for those of you who think tomato's a vegetable, that was a law that was passed in the late 1800s that reclassified it from a fruit to a vegetable. That's why we think of it as a vegetable, because the government says so. But it's actually a fruit, like an apple or a cherry, right? A fruit is a physical manifestation on the outside of what the thing is on the inside. So you see all this green shrub. I don't know, leaves from leaves. Oh, look, there's a tomato on it. Must be a tomato plant. Same thing with an apple tree. For most people, you won't be able to tell an apple tree from a pear tree until it puts out an apple or a pear. So the fruit is what's inside of us that shows on the outside. So the fruit of the Spirit is how we are being led, how we are showing ourselves to the rest of the world. Paul loves a list. I've mentioned that before. I think it's after this list he goes through the fruit of the flesh, in contrast to the fruit of the Spirit. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, or patience, which is what we're going to dive into today, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And we've been through kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control before. And those are some of we started off with a doozy there, self-control. That's the one that I always hated when I was quoting this verse at Sunday school as a kid. Now, I will say this. I learned NIV, so instead of long-suffering, it was patience. I also hated the patience part. But today, we're going to start, and you're going to have to be patient because we're not going to be able to finish patience in one day. This is the biggie. Self-control is discipline. Patience is also discipline, but patience touches every single aspect of trading. And when it comes to patience, the easy way to describe it is you need patience. And I've said, see you all next week. It's actually a little funny thing I put there in the book. This is one of those attributes that everybody knows we need, and no one wants to have to deal with it. It's unpleasant. Mainly because patience is, well, we'll get to it in a minute, but the way you get patience is the unpleasant part. As we do all the time, let's dive into what the actual word is that is used in Galatians. Remember, Paul wasn't writing in English. He was writing in Greek. So the Greek word here is makrothemia. I do believe that's how it's pronounced. I've done poorly in the past, but I believe that's how that one's pronounced. Wrong way. So the translation, the thing I love about learning other languages, and if you are not an American, you think, everyone learns other languages. If you're an American, you think, what? The thing I love about learning the Hebrew and learning the Greek is diving into these words, and these words mean several different things. Case in point, if you're in the chat, Joseph, who is Jacob's son, I don't remember where he was in line. I think he was he 11th? I know Benjamin was his younger brother, right? He was somewhere it's the lower 12, right? He was given a coat of, put it in the comments, right now, put it in the comments, put it in the chat. Joseph was given a coat of, I'm going to give you just 1 second. By the way, let me know if the sound is all right. If you're just joining us, we're talking about patience today. We're diving into the word patience and what it means and what that means for us as traders. One of the things I love Myron Golden says is we can't know what the word means until we know what the words mean. So as traders, we hear patience. Well, we need to dive into that. What does that mean to us as people? What does that mean to us as traders? All right, so Joseph was given a coat of many colors. That's right. There's I believe it's a Broadway play. I don't know what it's called. Possibly Joseph in the Coat of Many Colors. The translation, yeah, it doesn't mean many colors. It means with sleeves. This is why I know, right? With sleeve. How in the don't know how with sleeves got translated into many colors. It does not mean that there's a problem with the translation. The point of the story is that Jacob gave Joseph this coat that set him apart and above his brothers, right? Because if he had sleeves, it means you weren't doing manual labor. Because if you had the sleeveless coats, it's a whole big thing. Anyway, point is, that's why I love diving into individual words. So this word patience, macrothemia, can mean patience. It can mean endurance. It can mean constancy, keeping on, right? It can mean forbearance. It can mean perseverance. It can mean long suffering. And again, if you are a trader, this one hits home, I think, more than the rest of them. If you are a New Orleans Saints fans like I am, bless their hearts. If you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan, I love Joe Burrow. Bless his heart. Long-suffering has all manner of different meanings. You think, wait. What is that? Slowness in avenging wrongs? We're going to get there. And when we get there, you're going to go, yes, of course, I have done that. I'm guilty of that. We'll get there. All right. But think about all of the different meanings packed into this one word, and think about how each one of these applies a little different to a trader, right? I mean, these sure apply in real life, but as traders, constancy, perseverance, endurance. Oh my goodness, how many times have we had to endure some trade before it went our way, or before it let us know we were supposed to get out, right? So my particular trading style, I've got a couple of signals that kick in before my trade gets to its full stop loss. And a lot of times those are slow in coming, right? By and large, I've got about a 60-65% win rate, and that's the way I like it. And part of that is I don't always, about less than half of my losses are full stop losses. What I'm trying to say. A lot of times I can see where this trade is heading, right? Okay, this trade's going, I'm going to get stopped out, or I'm going to lose on this trade. I say lose. I've got a video that we need to probably revisit. Let's stop calling them winners and losers. They're profitable trades and unprofitable trades. The only losing trade is a trade where you broke your rules. But if you're following your rules, it says, okay, I think I should get out because I can just see it happening. But my rules say I got to wait for this signal to happen. So you're like just enduring, waiting for, finally I get the signal to get out. I could have seen this thing coming a mile away. I'm just having to endure all this time, being patient as my trade goes against me, and I know that it's going to go against me, but I'm waiting on my signal. Constancy applies there. Hey, I know I should get out, but I'm not going to because I'm going to be constant in my application of my trading rules. I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. And for a book that is biblically based, perhaps it is unusual to see the phrase, patience sucks. But there it is. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about writing a whole series. Patience Sucks, Volume 1. Discipline Sucks, Volume 2. Waiting Sucks. Matter of fact, I wrote half a book several years ago, Waiting on God Sucks. If you'd like to read that half of the book, let me know. I can send you a copy of the half of the book. Booklet, really. But patience sucks. Step number 1, patience sucks. Step number 2, see above. And here is why. In general, patience sucks. We are not given patience. I am a firm believer, and this is a theology that was sprang out of my head. The first 3 fruits of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Those are gifts from God. We as humans can't generate those on our own. The best we can do is a pale imitation. Those come from God. And apart from God, you really can't fully understand love and joy and peace. The other 6 are ones that are developed using those. So how do you develop patience? You can't just wake up one morning and have more patience. You can have more endurance. I've been trying to jog at lunch every day, and the other day I was finally managed to get up to the point where I could jog 1 solid mile, then rest and jog 1 other solid mile. That's endurance. And sure, I woke up in the morning with that ability because the previous month I've been doing little by little, increasing it. So how do you increase your patience? How do you develop your patience? This is why it sucks. You have to be put into situations where you must display patience, where your only options are patience or homicide, right? Those are the only... My wife told me years ago she didn't believe in divorce, she believed in homicide. Anyway, patience is almost, in that regard, a side effect. All right, I'm at my neighbor's kid's piano recital. I want to sit here and grit my teeth and put a smile on my face and just count the minutes as I slowly die on the inside. And the side effect of it is that the next time you have to do that, you can endure more of a piano recital. It is this, like when you stretch a rubber band, all right? It never snaps back fully. It goes a little bit, you stretch it a little bit further every time. So we are put into situations that require patience, and we get it almost as a side effect of just living through it. Now, apply this to your trading. Being impatient in our trades is easy. As a matter of fact, one of the allures, one of the reasons that people pick day trading is they think that they don't have to be patient. Well, day trading requires the most patience because you have to wait for the perfect setup if you want to be successful in day trading, which requires the patience to sit there and stare at a screen and do nothing. Talk about constancy and forbearance. We mentioned the book. We've got it in the online course, the success formula, which is success equals, and we got several videos on it, I believe. Discipline plus capital plus strategy times time. Every single step of this formula. Can you have a step in a formula? Element of a formula? Factor in a formula? Every single factor in this formula requires an element of patience. Success, my goodness, does success require patience? Discipline, well, those two go hand in hand. Like I've mentioned before, that doubt and discouragement are the twin killers of traders. Patience and discipline are the twin, what's the opposite of a killer? Unkillers. The twin promoters of trading, of traders, of success. Am I making sense here, guys? Capital. Well, how does patience apply to capital? Well, first and foremost, the patience to accumulate the capital, the patience to sit there and watch the capital grow slowly and steadily. I mean, if you've got $100 and you're making 20% a year, that's fantastic. But guess what? You're making $20 a year. It's going to require an enormous amount of patience to look at that $20 as monumental, as monumental as it should be looked at. Strategy, oh my goodness, patience within your strategy. And also patience finding a strategy, patience testing a strategy. Patience, I've shown it before, and this is one of the, I love algorithmic backtesting. Matter of fact, I've got a strategy, free strategy that we'll be happy to give away. It's so dead simple. That's why I love it. The older I get, the more mature I get in trading, the simpler the strategies are that I trade and that I look for. This one is dead simple. I had it automated. I paid some coder in Vietnam $100, $150 to create a code for this thing just so that I could backtest it quickly at the click of a button. And then it gives you this return. Okay, I backtested over 2 years. So it gives you this line drawing, this 2-year chart. It goes in, down, up, and down, up, down, up, down. 2 years. Okay, that's fantastic. Look at this. 20% return a year. And look at that graph. Yeah, but every one of those down troughs, those down times, is 2 months. You get to live through that day by day by day by day as you're going down and down and down. Your strategy requires so much patience. And then the greatest bonus, the greatest element, the greatest multiplying factor that we have in trading is time. Time is a wonderful thing. And time can do things for your trading that nothing else can. Albert Einstein said that the most, I'm going to get this quote wrong. Albert Einstein said the most powerful force in the universe is compound interest. I believe it's some variation of that. Think about what he just said. Albert Einstein, the most powerful force in the universe, compound interest. That phrase, compound interest, that is patience and time working on these other three elements. So every step of the way as a trader requires patience in all those different forms. And not only in your trading, but in your career as a trader. We're going to go over probably next week. There's like 4 separate types of patience that you have to go through in order to become a successful trader. You've got to be patient with yourself, with your education. You've got to be patient with your capital accumulation. All these other, we'll get into it next week. It is so very important, and you think you're making it sound almost impossible. Well, I don't mean to. Drop me a note in the chat if you think that I'm being a little gloom and doom here. Here's how we get there, and we've already done it in the previous 7 episodes. Right? Self-control, gentleness, being that meek and mild trader, faithfulness, being faithful to our trading plan. Goodness, putting our time and our money and our energy on good ground. Kindness, making sure that we aren't driving people away. These are the elements that we've already practiced that are going to help us on this step. This is why I'm going through it in reverse order. That these are the ones, and by the way, patience is the last of these man-practiced skills, if you want to call it that. The next 3 are the gifts of God there, but the 7 that we have accomplished, that we've passed through so far, those are the ones that are going to enable you to have the patience, or to day by day slowly stretch that rubber band of how much can I endure, and as you let go, the side effect is, okay, my patience has grown today. I didn't want it to. There's an old joke a Christian comedian talked about. You know what? Once upon a time, I used to pray for patience. I don't do that anymore because there's only one way to get patience, which is to have it tested. So, self-control and patience are the keys to being a long-term successful trader. They go hand in hand. You have to have self-control to have patience. And patience is what enables you to have self-control. It's a snowball effect, self-fulfilling. You get what I'm trying to say here? So we're going to spend some time. We're going to be patient and spend some time on patience. And we're going to go through it element by element. Probably not every single definition of that word, but a good chunk of them. So coming up next week, patience again. Again, don't forget about, we have the, where is it at? Is it over here? Nope. Hang on one second, guys. There it is. Don't forget about the giveaway. Please go and sign up for it. I am excited to give this away. And if you have any questions about any of it, just reach out to us at pepper@godlytrading.com. See if I can find there it is. If you have any prayer requests, if there's anything going on in your life that you need, and you just feel like, I just need somebody to pray for me, just drop me a note, pepper@godlytrading.com. I'll be happy. I'm not going to mention it on air or anything like that. Just I'll be happy. It'll be my privilege to pray for you in whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you need. So with that, guys, I